Welcome to the law offices of Chris M. Ingram. We're delighted that you've joined us for this presentation on the benefits of the E1 Treaty Trader Visa. We've put together an amazing series of videos designed to explain both the benefits and the requirements you'll need to satisfy. Our goal is to make this video presentation series as clear as possible so that you can decide if the E1 Treaty Trader Visa is right for you. Our goal is to put you in the driving seat so that you can evaluate the merits of the E1 visa. Think about it. In less than 3 months from now, you could be living your American dream. So let's get started. What is an E1 visa? In essence, the E1 visa facilitates trade between the US and your home country. The E1 visa will enable you to relocate to the US in order to better manage the flow of trade. In contrast to the E2 Treaty Investor Visa, there is no requirement to create jobs. Instead, the requirement is to demonstrate that substantial trade can be established between the two nations. Another amazing benefit of the E1 visa is that your spouse will be able to qualify for a work permit so that they can pursue their own career. Okay, let's start with a quick run-through of the E1 Treaty Trader Visa requirement. 1. Treaty countries. The US has treaties with a number of countries, and thus the first issue is to check whether your company's nationality has an E1 treaty with the US. We will of course cover this issue in more detail and provide you with a complete list of E1 countries for your kind perusal. 2. Trade with the US. Your business must be currently doing trade with the US. Under the E2 visa regulations, the definition of trade has a particular meaning, and so we'll go over precisely what is meant by trade so that you can determine if your company already meets this requirement or can do so in the future. 3. Substantial trade. The trade must be substantial. As you can imagine, the word substantial could mean almost anything, so we'll be getting into how you can determine if the volume of trade you will be able to generate will be sufficient to satisfy US immigration. 4. Majority trade with the US. Here, the regulations require that at least 50% of your company's total international trade must be with the US. Thus, for example, if your company does 90% of its international trade with China and only 10% with the US, then you would not be able to satisfy this requirement. Even where this might be the case, we'll be able to discuss arrangements where this issue could be resolved in a way that would enable you to meet the 50% rule requirement. 5. Sending employees from the foreign company. Of course, with larger companies, the executive officers of the company may not want to relocate, but instead send lower-ranking employees to be on the ground in the US. Here, US immigration says this is quite acceptable and allows for other executive, supervisors, or specialists to be transferred. 6. Temporary residential status. The E1 visa can be granted for up to 5 years, depending on your company's nationality. US immigration will require a letter from you to confirm that you understand that the E1 visa is temporary, and that you will return home if at any time your visa is not renewed. However, there may be ways to change your E1 status into a green card in the future, and again, we'll get into those options for sure. Okay, we're off to a great start. In the next presentation, we'll discuss how you can determine if your home country has an E1 visa treaty, and also discuss whether your personal nationality has a part to play in your overall eligibility. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed this E1 visa presentation.